Hi, Whiskers, if I may say so.
Yes, Guy. Hi, hello again. Happy to be in the show and talking to you again.
For some of you who have followed our channel, you may remember Whiskers' bio. It's the second video we do with Whiskers, and in the last one we introduced him and his career. Now, today, we're going to look in a particularly important topic. We're going to look at in the use of AI, mainly on the defensive side. Of course, today we have AI on the offensive side. We have AI within a business or corporation or institution. So there is AI all over the place. But our focus today will be on AI. It's a very emerging topic in information security. But one which we will see at every level in the next coming months and certainly years. Whiskers, would you like to get us going in this discussion?
Sure, yeah, I'll get right into it. In the last episode, I mentioned I was in Israel. This was around mid of last year when I got an invitation from a chairperson from the Israel Space Agency to attend the Cyber Week in Tel Aviv University. So, and I'd like to share my notes on what they are doing with AI and cyber. As was shared in the opening keynote, AI was originally built to clean out malware on their network without violating the privacy of the Israelis. So you fast forward to today, they are, using this in the military application, whereby they are using AI for target identification, making decisions whether to detonate a payload or not, and also in deception, which is to make an adversary doubt and not take certain actions. I also got a preview of the updated air defense system using lasers. It has been dubbed the laser wall, and versus what they have today, which is the Iron Dome. It's pretty impressive. In the areas of national security, they are already exploring how AI can be used to secure weapons and also how to secure the AI algorithms as they become more powerful, right? They are worried that researchers today aren't thinking about adversaries trying to steal their work. Also, as algorithms become more mature, there's also the danger of AI hallucinating, leading to bad consequences. Think about, I was when I think about this, I always think about the movie Terminator, which was I've seen decades ago when I was a kid. During the conference, when we were presented with this, without a doubt, I knew that AI research will make its way to cybersecurity, and at the pace things were moving, definitely see a lot more AI applications in the cybersecurity domain. Lo and behold, before 2023 ended, I've already seen a preview on Gen AI and one of the more popular VM vulnerability management tool, right? Whereby they are already integrating AI in the tool itself. So one can really ask in a natural language, just like on ChatGPT, like, hey, what vulnerabilities does a GUI have? What is affecting GUI's laptop, or what devices have Log4j vulnerabilities and admin access at the same time, or perhaps maybe summarize the organization's exposure based on the threat intel from this week. Show me their tech path. How exciting and how cool is that, right? So this is what we're seeing, and this is, like I said, within a year, and it wasn't even perhaps about 6 months or so. We are already seeing this, and I think within the next few months we will see the launch of such capabilities.
I think this is quite exciting because obviously, as we have seen with ChatGPT, and it's not the same thing, or other AI tools, it allows a number of people to do things they couldn't do before. Yeah, and it let the AI handle things as an intelligent assistant, at least at this moment, maybe more than that in the future. So it it maybe lift up the level of the defender in a good way, so that more people can do smart things in defending things. Of course, the I know the offensive side will make the equation a bit more complicated than that. Great. Okay, please go on.
Well, one of the challenges in our field today is, of course, resourcing, right? And we've seen how ChatGPT has helped, kids in school write things faster. So I think it will also help the cybersecurity professionals respond faster to attacks as well. And of course, there will breakout rooms, there will various forums, and some of the interesting questions ask, what is the impact of AI and cybersecurity? The answer is, it's always a race. Environments are always changing. This has always been a challenge, in the cybersecurity domain. The speed, volume, sophistication of attacks are increasing. From a defense perspective, there's a notion that the tools that exist today are just Trojan horses. So a presenter, claimed that a relatively simple malware was able to bypass 20 of the most popular cyber companies just by incorporating AI, right? So Chat GPTs, the tools as we are used to now, will not be able to detect the attacks because it is impossible to stop. So the focus is really on identification and treatment. Security needs to shift left, right? We've heard this for a while now, and adopt predictive prevention solutions, which can detect an attacks before something even happens, right? So that's where the focus is on right now. And of course, we will see a proliferation of AI tools in the near future. And one of the other interesting question is, will AI ever replace human talent? Right? Generally, it is no. It will not replace humans. Human souls are still needed to complement AI. I think that that's where we'll see things flourish. They are AI-based cyber attacks now. Now we were seeing this in one form or another, and the answer was asked, to AI, right? How do we prevent AI-based cyber attacks? The answer was use a better AI. So, again, I'm going back to the Terminator movie, where you have the T-800 auto model, and then you have the T-1000, that's kinda like a liquid metal that can morph into anything. Of course, the older model paired up with a human, which was a little boy, John O'Connor, I think, that was his name, and then they were able to defeat, right, the newer model, so, yeah.
I think to some extent, we there's the offensive part, you mentioned it. There's defensive part, you mentioned it. But I hope also that, for example, both of us have worked on application security, that developers can use AI to, either avoid having unsecure code, or when a problem is found, easily fix it in some sense, because sometimes things don't get fixed properly, or not immediately, because of the effort required to do it. Hopefully, AI will help on that. That's a good thing. The bad thing is, I think, to some extent, my feeling is that companies will use AI also on the business side, not only in the security side. On the business side, I think the AI will help them to generate better business data. But when you do so, the value of your business data increases, and that means, as defenders on the security side, we now have to protect more valuable data, because AI has generated more valuable data. So the equation is changing on all ends, and I think the we have to look more in the future than in the past, and position ourselves in this race as much as we Can to some extent, if I may say, you may remember when we have quantum computer, and then we say, "Oh, quantum computer is going to break everything." All the encryption is going to be broken. But now, after a while, you had the emergence of post-quantum computer encryption. So what encryption should we use, which cannot be so easily decrypted, and so on. So the research will go on all sides. But I think, and I therefore appreciate you sharing us this input with us. It's important that modern security defenders, understand AI and use it when they can, and also understand it's what it cannot do, and also understand the attacker logic. So, Whiskers, could you share a few more insights which you gained in this conference and through your own work?
So again, I will sort of like talk about my previous question. The best way to prevent AI cyber attacks, which the answer was to use a better AI. How do we determine what is better AI? In this field, the only thing that is more important than data is more data itself, right? So you really need a huge amount of data to train your AI tools. And the only way to do that is to have your AI tools on the cloud, not on-prem. But there will not be the data that the AI can work with. So I would say any organization that would want to implement a good AI solution would very likely going to be cloud-based solutions rather than on-prem solution.
I guess that also, was always an issue up to now, is that you know, you can train at least AI when it comes to data on determining what is normal for your organization in a better way. That was almost a concept before, but not scalable. We couldn't really implement it in a good way. So my hope is that we can baseline a little bit normality at a scale and at a depth which we were not able to do it before. So that should also help a little bit in baselining things and defining what is good and what's bad.
To train the large language models which AI is based on, it's really about the huge amounts of data, right? Well, if you have 100 pictures of cats and dogs, and I said, "Hey, Key, would you be able to tell the difference?" Right? I think you will be able to do it with 100% accuracy. But for AI to do that, it is not so easy. Yeah. Perhaps you may have a cat that's pretending to be a dog, or vice versa. So it's going to be a bit tricky. Now, of course, we've seen how certain things can be used to defeat machine learning algorithms, face recognition, for example, right? All you needed to do to defeat facial recognition is to have this thing called the adversarial patch, right? You can either have it on your T-shirt, or you can have it on your hat. It really is kind of like very abstract art with gaudy colors, contrasting colors. And with that, you are able to defeat that, right? Google it. There are T-shirts with this adversarial patch for sale. So people who are a bit paranoid, they could actually buy these beanies and cap and T-shirts.
But even today, we hear, I mean, which, I'm sure even there is going to be new dimensions in social engineering, because I can now try to copy someone's voice, not even talking about the visuals. So you could pretend to be someone of authority and get someone in an organization to do things for you while you are not the person. You're just copying the voice in some sense. So even there, we need new ways to identify people. The voice itself can no longer be trusted in some sense. So it will lead us to many different new problems to solve. I'm almost sure.
Absolutely, kid. Look, I'm even pretending to be a lion now.
Yeah, you're doing well. You're doing well. I like your hairstyle.
The one of the other interesting topic that came about, when I was at a university was is that the university is researching on how misinformation may spread virally and widely, and how they may have catastrophic consequences. So, interestingly, this has certain analogies to pathogen epidemics like SARS and COVID, where early detection on time and on scale is extremely critical. The formula that is used to calculate infectivity of viruses can also be applied to rumors as well. The concepts, keywords that were thrown out were propagation wavefront, random infectivity field, fluctuation, super spreader, and of course, AI can help by doing early detection, surveillance, and also deploy at scale rumor checking capabilities. It's all very very advanced. Something that is beyond my pay scale, I guess. A person wants to create fake profiles, right? Fake news and to spread misinformation. With AI, like you said, this time can be shortened. Tel Aviv University and Stanford University, they have a joint research into AI risks to humanity, right? So they shared that influence defense is actually 15 years behind because no one has been looking into this, how to mitigate rumors spreading in a random environment. If you look back a couple of years ago, we've had the case of the Cambridge Analytica, whereby they harvested Facebook data, influence target profiles, and create content for them to go to, right, to influence a decision. It's all very, very exciting here. What's developing in this space.
So yeah, maybe you have to really get your news anymore in the future only from extremely verified sources and forget the rest in some sense. But even if you imagine that you could have these days ransomware goes by stealing data first and then also encrypting the computers. But stealing data, you only threaten that you will publish it. But if you imagine you take the data you stole and you feed it to AI and you start stories about what you learned, it will even amplify this double extortion scheme in a big way. But I mean, yeah, I know we have seen, maybe with X or Twitter, almost a verified sign behind your name or anything like that is becoming a big thing because you cannot be sure anymore. So it's not internet widespread information gathering, but really, consume only from sources which you have a reasonable expectation to be real. So I think the what would be the advice you would give to a defender today, if who is not yet so much versed into AI. Obviously, I think it's an urgent topic now. I mean, taking from everything you said, because it's a race, so it's not just easy going. It is the clock is running.
Start looking at tools already, evaluating the tools, and we do this from time to time. See what are the tools out there that are incorporating AI, helping humans do work, faster, better, and easier, and start implementing them.
Yeah, I think it's a good start, and I think the important thing is please accept the fact that it's here to stay, and it's getting more important by the day. So the earlier you start, the better. Get on board and stay connected, because you have to look at what the defenders can do. At the same time, you have to learn about what the offensive, the bad guys, also can do, so that you can understand both sides. And I said your company itself may finally use AI in a big way. So you have to be heavily involved in some ways. And I think hopefully the new generation of cybersecurity entries, from students and universities and other places, will come with a minimum background in AI in the future. So
It definitely gives us something to look forward to, in 2024. I would say it's going to be another exciting year, and it has been in this area. So
super. Well, Whiskers, thank you so much for having shared this input with all of us. And looking forward to our next video. And maybe you can share your hairdresser in the show notes. You're quite certainly not using AI, but almost. So makes you look mysterious and interesting. So thanks very much for having spent the time with us.
thank you, Guy. Thanks for having me again.